So it is July 23rd and it is 4:11 p.m. I gotta work on letting everyone know about the lie that they're now making. You gotta understand the background for this lie, okay? The entire time, this has always been due to extreme envy, but every time they get caught, it becomes extreme greed. Or a brain savant test comes out, reassuring everyone that what I said about me being Kim Peek Rain Man is absolutely true, except for that also having focusing and innovation as a brain savant power. So basically, yeah. The thing about it is, these people, this is basically the fourth time. Fourth time, they're lying. Not four lies, fourth time. Big difference between the two. First time, November 20th, 2025, it was filled with lies. Every single thing they said was a lie. Not just one lie, 50 million different lies in there. All fully fabricated from her house. That was the first time. It wasn't one lie, it was 50 lies in one for November 20th, 2025. That was the first time. Okay, government informant was involved. The government got involved. They wanted to know, make sure that these people aren't playing with the country's national security for their own personal motive of locking up my brain savant so that no one could get the money they couldn't get. Ibrahim the Greedy Framer, drug-addicted sex addict's mother, was the envious woman doing this. She also told the government informant about the subsequent lies. And there we go to the second time. So the first time they're caught on the testimony stand, she is caught lying on the testimony stand for that first November 20th false testimony, due to which then they go over to the second attempt. The second attempt, they have basically Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson is involved, and he is pushing these lies very aggressively forward. And so the second attempt basically has numerous lies as well. The first time, his envious mother got caught on the testimony stand lying. She didn't know that who the government informant was or any of the government informant business. She just got caught lying on the testimony stand is all that happened. And because she got caught lying on the testimony stand, she just basically got her son, Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, drug-addicted sex addict, to now go and narrate in my trial. Since she didn't know that there was a government informant, anything of that sort. The confessed lies that she was working on for being used after November 20th were the ones that were being used now, because she didn't know that this person was a government informant. So she gave those lies over to her son, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson, drug-addicted sex addict. Those lies. Now, drug-addicted sex addict is due to the fact that he overdoses on street drugs, crystal methamphetamine once a week, every single week, ends up in the emergency room, and then he goes and begs a woman that I knew in my life, like my elementary school teacher, whose son is only 2 years younger than me, to sleep with him like he did on July 10th at 7 p.m. When she refuses, the elementary school teacher refuses, he tries to come in my car cameras at that same night at 8:45 p.m. coincidentally and ironically from the mother's girl. How shameful. Running after a woman your mother's age, waiting at the mother's girl. You don't have any shame whatsoever to try to get in my car camera. Anyways, so the first set of lies were for November 20th, 2025. And yes, obviously he's a drug-addicted sex addict is what this man is, obviously. And they tried to get me back after July 10th. On July 11th, they went to the one person that they could go to. That was Adam G. and Maruk, because everyone else was begging me to marry their daughter. For the Greedy Framer was, she couldn't claim I was a drug addict, even though they wanted someone to claim it. My dad, the Greedy Framer, couldn't claim that. He was begging me all day and night long to go to his house and sending me all these blackmail price tags. And yeah, sweet talking me whenever he could. He's a coward. Says things about me behind my back only to make sure my mother can't get the money. In front of my face, he's begging me to either give him money or something like that. All right, so he couldn't say anything. Well, Miss Deb couldn't claim that I was a drug-addicted sex addict or anything like that. She's the one who used to sexually molest me by touching different parts of my body, and she's been begging me to marry her daughter. So she's not going to be like, I want a drug addict to be my son-in-law. Obviously not, even though her daughter's married, by the way. So they have no one. They go overseas, in my overseas pharmacy school on July 11th, very desperately to get people to claim that I was drug-addicted sex addict. Well, guess what? July 11th, they get caught, and they get caught really badly. And all these people, Adam G. and Maruk, are basically making false testimonies against me, and they get caught red-handed. So thank you very much for wanting in your haste to try to get me back in your revenge. So yeah. There's no one to claim right now that I'm a drug addicted sex addict. They can't get revenge, which is really nice. Anyways, so yeah, if Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, claimed this, then basic question would be like, 5 days ago, you're asking me to marry your sister. Why were you doing that? You don't want a drug addict to be your sister's husband now, do you? No, obviously not. But yeah, that was basically a Ponzi scheme. Anyways, we'll get to that shortly. Anyway, so the thing about it is, the first set of lies were November 20th, 2025, and she had a whole lot of lies in there. Like, this is how I saw him commit the crime. Hassan committed the crime. This is when he did it. This is how he did it. He wanted to do this. He wanted to do that. And yeah. So after November 20th, the woman gets caught on the testimony stand, basically not able to answer a basic question relating to the crime that she said that I committed. And so after that, she has a whole set of lies already planned out with the government informant that she told about, that she had all these lies that she was going to make against me right after November 20th, 2025. So these lies that she made, had planned out against me, were the second set of lies. These were made by Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug addicted sex addict. He knew that these lies were false. Why? How do we know this? Because his envious mother, had already confessed to the government informant that these were lies, and yet he was pushing them forward very aggressively. Now, the courts have to understand the fact that both November 20th and these subsequent lies had amazing evidence, the kind that you cannot put aside without crying tears of blood, basically saying, oh my God, this is a very serious sort of thing. But November 20th, I know this for a fact, because November 20th, basically, it scared the pants off of every news anchor and guest on CNN. They were so scared. Like, you got to look at Governor Josh Green on November 27th. He looks like he came out of a coma. The guy is just like, he's like, confusion is the enemy. We got to remove and the news anchor on CNN, like, this is really serious stuff. News anchor in CNN is just shocked. She's like, because you got to remember, these news anchors knew me. They knew me, and they knew that I was not capable of doing this. So there had to be another story to it. There was no way anyone could prove it, though. Thankfully, the government was way ahead, and they put in a government informant, due to which, you know, everything was found out. Now, after the first set of lies for November 20th, 2025, basically what ended up happening was his envious mother, Ibrahim's envious mother, gets caught on the testimony stand, but she still doesn't want to let go. Not only does she get her son to start making false testimonies against me, the planned lies that she had already planned with her siblings, and she gave to Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug addicted sex addict, to make against me after November 20th. Okay, so after basically November 20th, she's kicked out. My dad, the Greedy Framer, is still trying to narrate in the trial around December 29, 2025 at exactly 1:27 p.m., right when he sends me the Ria money transfer ad begging me to give him illegal assurances of money, is when he's kicked out. Obviously, when you're kicked out is when your motive is seen, because that's when you're like, oh my God, ask him if he's going to give me any of the money or not. Am I not going to get any of the money? Like, sort of thing. And obviously he went crazy over the money. He wanted it really, really bad. And now that he saw that my mother's going to get the money and he's not, he goes straight for the money. December 29, 2025, 1:27 p.m., when he's supposed to be sitting there thinking about what he's done, committing crimes and creating mass panic and chaos throughout the entire news media just to enviously lock up my brain savant, he's not thinking of any of this. In his state of shock, right before my brain savant could get freed, he doesn't care about what he's just done. That psychopath calls law enforcement right away and he goes, send him money transfer ads. See how he responds. Check if he's going to give me any of the money or not. Obviously, that's what it was all about, and that's exactly what he did the minute he gets kicked out of the witness stand, December 29, 2025 at 1:27 p.m. So the second set of lies were all planned out by my dad, the Greedy Framer, and his Framer sisters, okay? And what they did was they got Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, to make these lies against me. My dad, the Greedy Framer, and his Framer siblings had planned these lies out from before, together, working together, and with his siblings, they thought this is genius. There's no way Hassan's going to escape this. He's never going to be able to run out of this. We didn't even discuss this over the phone. We only talked about it in person. How is he going to escape this? We're just not, and they pretty much said amongst themselves, don't talk about this on the phone. Only talk about it in person. But guess what? that one person that they did talk to about this was the government informant. So the government informant, right before November 20th, 2025, they told about all their lies that they were planning on making after November 20th. So but they still push these lies forward very aggressively. And Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, who knew about November 20th, didn't do a thing to report it, seeing that the vaccine issue in the country was being put aside for a crime inciting that did not even exist, just to enviously lock up my brain savant, was now aggressively pushing lies forward very aggressively in January 2026, only because his envious mother had been caught on the testimony stand. Now, these second set of lies, the courts hear it all throughout January, and what they do is they let my dad, the Greedy Framer, back in to narrate in the trial, check to see if he had planned out these lies or not. The courts wanted to see it, if these are planned lies or not. If my dad, the Greedy Framer, says these lies, then that means it's planned. How do we know this? Because he lives in a different country. They didn't discuss it over the phone. They only told the government informant that they have these lies planned out, and then they tell the government informant, we have these lies planned out. We have it all fabricated. We need your help to exaggerate it a little bit more, for us to make sure that my brain savant could not get freed, so that no one else could get any of the money that they could not get. So the government informant is told that these lies are basically planned out from before. Now the courts want to know, does my dad, the Greedy Framer, know about these lies or not? Is he going to say these lies or not? If my dad, the Greedy Framer, says these lies, it means that they had planned this out from before by getting together and to enviously lock up my brain savant, because obviously the entire record from 2025 shows my dad, the Greedy Framer, running after me, getting rejected, then going back to law enforcement, telling them to blackmail me while he narrates in my trial, and then he would and also, then what he would do is, every time I would win my trial, like June 28, 2025, he would beg me all day, night long, tell my sister he's crying on his free time, thinking about me, things of that sort of nature, to try to get the money somehow or another. Since we only talk once every 5 years, we never got along. I've never lived in the same country as my dad, the Greedy Framer, never talked to him on the phone, making it literally impossible for him to have had any influence on my life or environment whatsoever, or me knowing him at all either. Which means that, yeah, now he's found out about the money, and he's thinking, well, artificial intelligence predicted this, it must be true, but his mother's gonna get all of it. I'm not getting a penny, I'm losing my job soon. So obviously my dad, the Greedy Framer, does not have a job right now. He just sits at home and gambles with, he gets his gambling through. Even before, when he did have a job, it wasn't something that requires a college degree. He literally lied about everything, including the fact that he said that he had a college degree after going to Ireland. He never went to college after going to Ireland. He just lies about everything. He's a pathological liar, and now he's getting the gambling throw from my brain savant money. He basically knows that obviously it's worth a lot of money, and he wants in on it, which obviously I'm not going to give him a single penny of. He knows that. So basically, what ended up happening was early January 2026, Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, was basically narrating in the trial against me for the lies that his envious mother had already told the government informant before November 20th, 2025 as being lies. Now, the courts have to understand the fact that November 20th, 2025 had excellent evidence against me, but that evidence was also fabricated and completely exaggerated. The crime and setting did not even exist. January 2026 had excellent evidence against me, but the courts have to understand the fact that that evidence was completely fabricated and exaggerated, that Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, had basically pushed forward very aggressively. Yeah. That evidence was also completely fabricated and exaggerated. We know this for a fact due to the fact that when my dad, the Greedy Framer, was allowed back into court in mid-January 2026, he repeated those same lies that his Framer sister had already told the government informant as being complete and total lies. So that they were planning on using against me, and she also asked the government informant to help her fabricate and exaggerate it even further. Complete total lie. She told the government informant that. So after February 10th, 2026, the courts tell him, my dad, the Greedy Framer, and his envious psycho Framer sisters, that we know these are lies. How we know, we won't tell you. The reason they knew was a government informant was told that these were lies. The courts are not going to tell them that there was a government informant, obviously. After February 10th, on February 11th, he sends me a porn star's picture with his sister's first name on it. 3:17 a.m. on February 11th, along with Ibrahim's big fat ugly old fart sister mother picture at 3:56 a.m. as well, hoping my dad, the greedy famer with his 5 foot long beard, hoping that I would commit incest with one of his sisters in exchange for illegal assurance of money. That day, on February 11th, my dad, the greedy framer, was told that this sending a porn star's picture with your sister's name on it is open advertisement for incest. He doesn't care. After they send me blackmail price tags, February 11th, February 21st, for $60 million each and every single day, almost 8 times, my dad, the greedy framer, and his framer sisters realized that I told the law enforcement right away, like, look, I know they've been caught with more lies. Obviously, they confessed to the government informant. It was free service, and they got all the free stuff that they could get out of it. Basically saying the government informant's there for free. He's going to help us enviously lock up Ehsan Bryn Savon. But since we're already working on November 20th with this government informant, might as well tell him the remaining lies as well and get him to work on those as well. So obviously I told law enforcement right away. The only reason they're blackmailing me with price tags of $60 million is due to the fact that they have realized that this is the only option they have, even though there's no guarantee I'd give that money even if I agreed to it. But since this is the only option they have, since they've been caught lying so many times, and that's why they're sending it to me, and law enforcement went back to my dad, the greedy framer, and his framer sister. Their law enforcement just like, Ehsan knows why you're sending him the blackmail price tags for like $60 million. He said he's not going to pay after his brain savant gets freed. Yeah, so I'm not going to give any illegal assurances of 60 cents to anyone. So basically, then my dad, the greedy framer, goes back to incest. He tries on March 7th. That same porn star's picture with his sister's first name on it that he was told on February 11th at 3:17 a.m. is an open advertisement for incest. He sends it again March 7th, 2026, 3 times in hopes that the brain scanner is going to show that Ehsan is interested, even though Ehsan was not interested. Ehsan told him to take his disgusting little offer out of my face and never ever show his face near me ever again. That's what my answer was to law enforcement. And then on March 10th, 2026, he sends me his big fat ugly old fart sister Afreen on March 10th, and every single day afterwards of sexually explicit pictures of a woman resembling her. And I told law enforcement the same thing. I'm sick and tired of this. I want this to stop. This incest request has to stop. All right. I want to be left alone. And so early April 2026. Now, Ibrahim, the greedy famer spokesperson, drug addicted sex addict, has already tried making lies against me twice. November 20th, 2025, he knew about it. His mother was making it, and he couldn't care less. And he saw the mass panic and chaos in the news media. The guy he couldn't care less. He's just like, we want his brain savant locked out. We're not going to watch someone in the family become a billionaire, like how artificial intelligence has predicted about him due to his brain savant. And we're not going to watch this. So we need to do this. So basically, Ibrahim, the greedy famer spokesperson, the drug addicted sex addict, pushes them forward very aggressively. When he does so, well, his mother does, and he knew about it, which means he's also part of it. And we know he knew about it from questioning him. So early January 2026, those lies he pushed forward very aggressively. He obviously knew those were lies. The evidence was very good, okay, but it was also false and fabricated, just like how his mother did on November 20th, 2025. The second set of lies are caught. Now, third set of lies are after all the incest requests and blackmail price tags, and yeah, basically we couldn't enviously lock it up. So why don't you just give us some illegal assurance of money and we'll call it a day. And obviously I said, get the heck off my face. I'm not giving anyone any illegal assurances of any money. My brain savant gets freed. My old mother, who worked all her life working in a fast food restaurant, gets some of it, and then I go get married for the rest of my life. And yeah, I'm not giving anyone any money, not even illegal, any fake promises or anything. I want to be left alone. blackmailed. So that's what I said. In early April 2026, these people realized, my dad, the greedy famer, and his famer sisters, along with Ibrahim, the greedy famer, obviously sex addicted drug addict, they all realized that this guy's not going to give any money. We're going to go back. We're going to go back hard, and we're going to go back very aggressively. My dad, the greedy famer, goes back to court in early April 2026 very aggressively. He abused every single person in the courtroom, yelling at every single person who was there. He would abuse them, yell at them. He would make lies against me, knowing that there's no other option. Like, he's not accepting the blackmail price tags I've sent millions of euros for, millions of dollars for. He won't even sleep with anyone. Like, look at the people he's offering for me to sleep with. His sisters, big fat ugly old fart sisters. Like, there's ways of doing this. This is not the way. And he just goes back, knowing that we never got along, and he's not getting any money. And like, you're right about that, but this is no way of asking. Anyways, so early April, he's just like, he's not going to give me any of the money no matter what I try to offer. Look at what you're offering. And so he goes back really aggressively, and very aggressively he abuses every single person in the courtroom, yells at them all day night long, berating them, abusing them, saying, you're twisting my words. He'd make one lie after another over and over and over again. And Ibrahim, the greedy famer spokesperson, the drug addicted sex addict, knew these were lies, and he pushes them forward really aggressively. And so, yeah, and this is the third set of lies. This time, the evidence is really good as well. And they try to use some evidence. They try to fabricate it, exaggerate it as much as possible. They push it forward very aggressively. So does Ibrahim, the greedy famer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict. He does this as well. And so what ends up happening is, this is the third time they're doing this. After all the incest requests and the blackmail price tags for millions of dollars and millions of euros, like, I can use these brain savant powers to make difference in this world, bring about differences in the way drugs are made, a lot of different things. Like, this is being inhibited for people's sex addiction and their envy and their greed for money. Like, this is just wrong. Anyways, so basically what ends up happening is, and if you want to know how I know about the sex addiction, I could show you outside in my balcony. Like, Jeanette, the fake CEO, got rejected by all these girls who were pissed off for being framed by him, scammed by him, due to which, you know, like, he gets police threatened on him every single day. Girls and women that were only in my life that he never even knew about. He got envious through law enforcement. He got their contact info, and then he started running after them, telling them he's a CEO. They found out. And now this happened, and he's still sex addicted, so he still begs them. Autistic people are not like this, by the way. They don't beg mommies to sleep with them like that, okay? Like what he was doing, okay? You know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah, he's got some serious issues. Like, envy with these people is insane amount. Well, anyways, like, if someone doesn't like you, they're in my life, they knew me, and I guess they like me, like, go find someone from your own life and try to get them to like you. You don't have to go run after people from my life and, like, literally run after them till they threaten to call the police on you or something. Well, anyways, that being said, yeah. So the second time, they're also obviously caught, and then it's the third time. And the third time, you know, the first and second time, they both had great pieces of evidence, and the third time comes after all the incest requests and all the blackmail price tags for millions of dollars, which is insane. Like, this kid literally raised poor in this country. Like, my mother used to work at fast food restaurants, and even when I was college, she used to work at a Food Line grocery store and send me money for food working there, and I used to tutor for food, and law enforcement is a witness to all of this. I haven't even seen any of the money. They haven't even let me use my brain savant powers, and these people are already blackmailing me for money in the millions of dollars. Can you believe it? Millions of dollars. Like, I'm just tired. Like, literally, I'm just tired. Like, I don't even know how to say this. So the third time, my dad, the greedy famer, goes back to court in April 2026. He goes very aggressively, and he's berating everyone in the courtroom, yelling at them, abusing them, screaming, yelling, no, 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 you're changing my words, you're twisting my words, you're twisting my... Every single statement he made all had flaws in it. And every single time he was questioned on those statements, he'd be like, you're twisting my words, you're twisting my words. That's all he would do in courtroom. All day, every day. And then he would change his statement the next day when there were flaws found in it. And then he would abuse the people in the courtroom for even asking him any questions. Because this is the only option he had left now. Either this or let my mother have the money that he knows he's not going to get. One of the two options. So he goes for this. Very aggressively abuses everyone in the courtroom. Yells at them all day and night long. Twisting my words, you're twisting my words. Stuff like that. Really annoying, abusive, aggressive behavior for the third time. He knew that I'm not going to sleep with his big, fat, ugly old sisters and give him a legal assurance of the millions of euros that you just saw in the last video he's been asking me for again, starting July 9th after June 24th was overanalyzed. So basically, this is the third time. And the third time, the courts are just like, look, there's evidence there, so we have to do something in order to find out if this guy is lying or not, because he's not going to let us go. He knows he's not going to get the money, and he's just not going to let us go. He's making a fool of national security over here, but there's nothing we could do because he won't stop lying, and he's getting really aggressive at his lies. So the courts decide on retrieving the phone conversation. And they told my dad, they were like, Mr. Ansar, we're going to have to retrieve every single phone conversation there is. You abused everyone in this courtroom. You got very aggressive with everyone in this courtroom. You aggressively pushed forward those statements, very aggressively. You abused and berated everyone in this courtroom. This is the only option we have to find out if you're telling the truth for the third time or if you're lying for the third time, just like how you did on November 20th by begging your Framer sisters to make it and law enforcement. And then early January, you made subsequent lies that were already planned out that you confessed to the government informant your Framer sister did. If this third time we find out that you lied all these statements while aggressively abusing every single person in the courtroom, berating them and twisting my words every single time you were caught with a flawed statement, then we're going to not let you dare it in this trial ever again, because we've had it with your abusive behavior. And if those are found to be having lies, guess what? I told the courts right there and then. I was like, Your Honor, you're going to find from the phone conversation retrieved facts and evidence from there that every single thing that my dad, the greedy Framer, says while he was abusing everyone in court and getting aggressive were complete and total lies. Not one statement was true. Like, I was sick and tired of it at this time. It really was, because I knew it was all about money, and these people were all fighting over money. They wanted the money. They wanted it for themselves. And law enforcement illegally told everyone about my brain salon by June 2023, which is why Miss Deb was trying to get me to marry her daughter in June 2023, when I haven't even told anyone about it till August 25th, 2023. So everyone knew about it, including my dad, the greedy Framer, and the people who didn't think they could get any money were this kind of behavior. So basically, yes, I told the courts that. I was like, Your Honor, you're going to find from the facts and evidences retrieved from the phone conversations that every single thing my dad, the greedy Framer, said for the third time is a complete and total lie. And he's only doing this for the money. He knows he's not going to get any of it. My mother is going to get it. And artificial intelligence marked my brain savant as the most rare and profitable in the world. He wants the money. He doesn't want my mother to get it. And if he's not going to get it, then no one else should either. It's all a lie. And the court should retrieve the phone conversations, only to find out that every single thing my dad, the greedy Framer, said for the third time were complete and total lies that Ibrahim, the greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, was repeating as well. So now, the fourth time it's repeating again. Every single time this happens, they're like, no, wait, we got caught with the second time. Well, there's his evidence, and we've got all of this remaining surrounding statements, surrounding this evidence. Let me tell you all about it. And the third time they get caught again. And now it's the fourth time. And Ibrahim, the greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug addicted, the sex addict, he's just like, no, wait, for the fourth time. I've got this evidence and all these surrounding statements around it. You got to listen to me. I've got evidence. You got to listen to me. Just because you've got evidence this time doesn't mean that there wasn't evidence the first time on November 20th, 2025, when his mother, his envious mother, was making that false testimony against me and aggressively trying to hold on to it, only due to extreme envy that my brain savant would get freed. Doesn't mean that there wasn't evidence for the second time in early January 2026 that Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, was making. There was evidence in January 2026. It was really good evidence. Third time, after all the incest requests and blackmail price tags for millions of dollars, I'm sick and tired of this. The third time in early April 2026, when my dad, the Greedy Framer, was getting abusive in court, yelling and screaming at them, berating them, pushing his statements very aggressively, only to then, he would push it forward very aggressively. And then he would tell Ibrahim, the Greedy Framer spokesperson, drug addicted sex addict, he's like, you gotta follow what I say. Keep repeating what I said. Okay, I'm gonna make it very aggressively, then you keep repeating what I said in court. And that's what Ibrahim would do. The third time, early April 2026, he knew these were lies. He repeated them very, very aggressively, abusing and berating everyone in court is what my dad, the Greedy Framer, did. And then he would tell Ibrahim, he would be like, you gotta repeat these very aggressively in court. Like, keep repeating them over and over again. Don't let his brain savant freed. I'm not getting the money, no one else should either. And so that's what happened the third time. There was evidence there as well. Now, the fourth time, same thing. Ibrahim's just like, no, wait, I've got evidence right here. Evidence right here. You can't let his brain savant free. No. You can't do that. Evidence right here, and I've got all these surrounding statements surrounding it. But the fourth time, you got to remember, it's the same exact cycle. Right before the fourth time, on July 18th, he sent me a request for his sister. Again, basically a Ponzi scheme. He knows his sister is too young for me. He knows his sister is really ugly. He knows I'm not interested in anyone in his family. He knows all of this. He just wants me to sign the prenup marriage agreement that Farrah the Greedy Framer and Miss Deb have been trying to do since July 6, 2026. Right now, this month of July. Farrah the Greedy Framer has sent it to me 40 times after July 6th. It's been labeled a Ponzi scheme on July 6th, asking me to marry her daughter, whom I hate. And I don't like her daughters. They're really ugly. And Farrah the Greedy Framer knows it's been labeled a Ponzi scheme. She knows it's through force that I would be signed to sign this blackmail, prenup blackmail. I made a video on it July 6th. And I know for a fact she's going to put that $60 million she kept sending me after February 21st at least 8 times. She knows it's been labeled a Ponzi scheme. She knows I hate these people. I'm not interested in their ugly looking daughters. And she knows it's a Ponzi scheme. You know how many times she sent it to me after July 6, 2026? This month of July 6, 2026, she sent it to me 40 times. 40 times she sent it to me in just this month of July 2026, after July 6, 2026, when it was labeled a Ponzi scheme. Okay, so that's in the last 17 days. In the last 17 days, Farrah the Greedy Framer has sent this blackmail prenup marriage scam, Ponzi scheme to me 40 times, 40 times. Knowing that it's a Ponzi scheme, only due to greed for money. That's it. And Ibrahim, like, I'm sick and tired of this. Ibrahim sent it to me literally 5 days ago on July 18th for his sister. Like, he needs money for his drug addict, and he's like, I'll get the gambling girl at least. I'm sending him this. So he sent it to me through law enforcement on July 18th, 5 days ago, for his sister. His ugly looking weirdo sister is whom I'm supposed to be marrying. Like, he knows I'm not going to marry her, and this is a Ponzi scheme. And so now for the fourth time, exact same cycle, marry her, or gave us blackmail price tags by signing this prenup agreement sort of thing before we stopped talking. Like, you've been caught lying 3 times. All 3 times there was evidence. It was really, really good, and it was all against me, and you had surrounding facts around that evidence as well. All right, not every single time you have to be caught completely, because let's say they get caught for the 4th time right now, then they'll just be like, oh, look, wait. Evidence. You can't let his brain savant freed. Evidence. 5th time. This is evidence right here. You can't let his brain savant freed. We've got surrounding statements around this evidence as well. They just keep doing this. They've already done it 3 times. Not every single time it has to be caught. Okay. for Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson, drug addicted sex addict, especially when his mother has already confessed to the government informant before November 20th that she had nothing against me except for lies. She told the government informant, his own mother, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer's mother, his envious mother, told the government informant before November 20th, saying that we have nothing against him except for lies. And November 20th, after November 20th, we've got more lies against him. So his mother told the government informant already, she already confessed to the government informant that she had nothing against me except for lies, only to enviously lock up my brain savant, which is why when she found out about there being a government informant whom it was, she resorted to greed. She sent me requests for her daughter, same person, Ibrahim's sister, that weirdo daughter of hers, 3 times on March 9th. Then April 11th, she does the exact same thing. Sends me a request for her daughter again. And now that June 24th, the brain savant test from last month was overanalyzed, she sends me, not her, Ibrahim's there. So Ibrahim sent me a request for the Ponzi scheme for me to sign the prenup agreement for his daughter, his sister, 5 days ago on July 18. I'm sick and tired of this. This is so clear and apparent. His mother has already confessed to the government informant before November 20th that this is only due to extreme envy that they're doing this. She has already confessed to the government informant that they're only doing this due to extreme envy. And she told the government informant that all they had were lies against me and nothing else. She told the government informant that all they had were lies against me. Then, every single time she was given a chance, or these people were given a chance, her son was given a chance, Ibrahim was given a chance, all they had were lies. Complete and total lies. Court used government informant for the second set of lies starting early January 2026, just like how they had to use it for November 20th, only to find that the second set of lies are all lies. Third set of lies, early April 2026, after the blackmails and after the incest requests, those were also lies from the phone conversations retrieved. And now they've been given a chance for the 4th time after they tried their greedy tactic of trying to see only 5 days ago if I was willing to sign a prenup agreement with Ibrahim's sister or not. This is insane. Their greed is overly clear. Their envy from all the lies they've made, the greed from all the incest requests and the blackmail price tags for millions of dollars and the marry my sister's Ponzi scheme, prenup agreement thing. Their greed is very obvious. The fact that his mother has already confessed to the government informant that all she had were lies against me, and every single thing that they've said till now has all been caught as being lies. His mother, Ibrahim's mother, told the government informant, she said, we have nothing against Hassan. All we have are lies against him. And then every single statement she made against me were all found to be lies. She already told the government informant that all she had against me were lies. She told the government informant this before November 20th. The way she would use these lies is try to get something from law enforcement that would look like something else, try to exaggerate it and fabricate it, put my name in there, and then she would push it forward through her son starting early January 2026 very aggressively, only for those set of lies to be found to be complete and total lies. Again, from what she had already told the government informant before November 20th. Now, early April 2026, they did the exact same thing. They took something from law enforcement, called it a piece of evidence, and then put my name on it, made it look like it was about me somehow, fabricated it, then exaggerated it, then used that as evidence against me in early April 2026. Phone conversations were retrieved, and we found out that those were complete and total lies again. Now, for the 4th time, Ibrahim the Greedy Framer spokesperson is doing the exact same thing, even though his mother has already told the government informant that all she had were lies against me, and they've been trying this trick over and over again just to lock up my brain savant. Just because it looks like there's something there that's against me doesn't mean it's really there against me. Okay, it looked like it was there against me in early January 2026, well, November 20th as well. They looked like it was there and looked again like it was against me in November 20th, 2025. It wasn't. Fully fabricated, then exaggerated the evidence completely is what Ibrahim's envious mother did. Then it looked like it was evidence against me, and it was the surrounding statements were against me as well in early January 2026. It wasn't. It wasn't against me in early January 2026. There was all lies, and the evidence was completely fabricated and then exaggerated. Then early April 2026, it looked like the evidence was against me with all the surrounding statements around it. It wasn't against me. Evidence was completely fabricated and then exaggerated by the same person, Ibrahim, while my dad, the greedy framer, would forcefully and aggressively push it forward. Ibrahim, the greedy framer, spokesperson, the drug-addicted sex addict, would push it forward for him, continue forcing these lies. Or now they're doing the exact same thing for the fourth time. The evidence looks like it's against me with the surrounding statements around it, but it's not against me, and it's completely fabricated and exaggerated. The reason we know this is that it's been like this for the first three times, and the first three times are not just three lies, they're three sets of false testimonies filled with lies. And his mother had already, Ibrahim's envious mother, had already confessed to the government informant before November 20th, saying that all she had were lies against me. She had nothing against me. So you know for a fact that even this fourth time, Ibrahim is lying once again. And he's only doing this to try to lock up my brain savant out of extreme envy while running after all these women and girls that he never even knew of. And the last time he was rejected was July 10th, around 7 p.m. by one of my elementary school teachers, due to which he was coming in front of my car cameras at that same night, July 10th, at around 8:45 p.m., only to try to advertise himself to that elementary school teacher so he could run after her again. His mother has already confessed to the government informant that she has nothing but lies against me. So obviously he's lying again, since he's been caught 3 times already. All 3 of those times, they were complete and total lies. He pushed them forward very aggressively, only due to extreme envy, followed by greed of trying to get me to marry their sister out of through a Ponzi scheme, just like how he was trying to do right now only 5 days ago. And now obviously he's lying once again. But the courts have to understand the fact that his mother has already confessed to the government informant that all she had were lies against me, which is why the first 3 times they have all been found to be complete and total lies. Despite there being evidence, the evidence was made to look like it was against me, then it was fabricated, and then it was exaggerated. That's what the courts found all 3 of the first times, and obviously they're doing this for the 4th time again.